basically solutions. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Solution 1 is just a generalized cleanser. That's for somebody who is just wanting that generalized cleanse. They haven't got anything that's like going on too much, as in like they haven't got like acne or anything, any problematic areas. It is just literally that person that wants to come in and just have that really nice cleanse. You've then basically got your number 2, which is going to be like your acne peel. So these are all like peels. So they're obviously a lot stronger than just using like a water or something like that. And then we've got 3, which is your hydration. So we've got normal cleanse, acne, hydration, and then the one there with like the funny little bottle on is your cleanser for the machine. These solutions are £120 for the set of 4, and they should be lasting about 28 to 30 clients, which if you do 28 clients would roughly work out at about £4.23 thereabouts per client. So it's still really low to obviously use. You basically switch your machine on. You've obviously got your 4 chambers. And when you switch actually the hydrofacial on, the chambers light up. So A is lit up blue. You can't really see it on the video, but you'll see it in real life. 2, and the lights go through each one. What I would do is literally put 1, 2, 3, 4, as in A, B, C, and D. So A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A would be normal cleanser, B would be acne cleanser, C would be hydration, and D would be machine cleanser. To the machine cleansing. So at the end of the everyday, you need to basically clean your machine. The easiest way to do it, your Hydra handle, and you get a flat tip that looks like that. You push your flat tip onto the hydrofacial handle and you switch your Hydra handle to maximum. Then what you do is you switch maximum on the vacuum and maximum on the water, and you basically go to D, which is going to be your cleansing solution with the funny bottle on the front, and you're going to press start. What that will do is the solution out of chamber D, which is your number 4 cleansing solution, will circulate around the machine. I would do that for 30 seconds. You basically switch the machine off and leave it until the next morning. The next morning you would then remove that flat tip, and then you would put your normal tip on and start the day again doing client. With the tips, you're going to have 2 bags full of blue tips. What you've got is your smaller tips, which are used for the nose. You have medium tips, so you'll notice they're just slightly bigger, not much bigger. They're for your face. You've got really big ones, which are for things like neck, shoulders, back, people that have got problematic areas like acne or anything, outbreaks of spots. And then you've got your flat ones, which are going to be for your cleaning. They're all the tips. And then when it goes to microdermabrasion, you're then going to have all of your diamond tips as well. So you've got 9 different tips that literally are listed on the box here, and that will be used on your microdermabrasion handle, which looks like this. And basically what you do is you then screw where the other ones are push, these ones you basically just screw them on. And that's going to be for like microdermabrasion. With these 2 handles, they come out of the same section. So on the side of the machine, you've got 2 clear tubes and a white electric cable. You've got a bigger tube, a smaller tube, and the white cable. You basically disconnect them. To disconnect them, you basically push the blue ring into the machine, you push it towards the machine, and with the other hand you can then release the tube. It's almost like a pinch ring round it that keeps it in place. So you push the blue tube towards the machine, you can then release the tube out. So if ever you want to swap between hydrofacial and microdermabrasion, you pull those 2 tubes out and the electric cable, and then you swap them with that one. And basically that's what it looks like. So you've got your electric power cable, your bigger tube and your thinner tube. You can't get wrong with plugging them in because they'll only fit in a certain, obviously, designated hole. When doing hydrofacials, I think this handle is always the most important because it's basically the detox handle. It's all about getting everything that's built up into the skin out, any debris, blackheads. We're wanting to kind of infuse that solution that we're using in the 3 chambers, and just dislodging anything and basically sucking anything out so that we've got a really good platform to continue with the rest of the treatment. And to do that, it is a case of going on the Hydra facial, choosing the chamber you want to use and pressing start. You can then adjust the Hydra handle by literally plus or minus on here, and also on the machine if you adjust it. If you sit it just kind of in the middle, what you want to do is you want to be moving upwards. So what I always say is imagine that you're contouring the face. You're wanting to, like, where the cheekbone is, go up, and again underneath. And I would do one pass with this. So it's literally up, so I'll come a bit closer, up like this, then you'll be going across like that, and you would keep working your way up all of the face in an upwards contouring manner to make sure that you hit obviously every area. Nose, you can literally go into the side of the nose sideways like this and across the bottom, and then with the head you tend to just go upwards like this. That would be your Hydra handle section. Really easy to use. Once you've gone over the face one pass, that's done. I'm going to go through all the handles and how you use them and what they do, but you can use them in any manner. So if you want to use them in different orders, look at the client, look at their needs. You've got your manual, which literally has a list of all the programs that I use in my clinic, and that will give you an idea that you completely can copy, and it will give you how long to use the handles and what the handles do. This one is your ultrasound. So this is the one that you'll be using with your microcurrent gel. So you would apply that to the face, and again we're moving on and upwards. So I would go ultrasound big. Intensity, I always put about 8 on this one. It's a really comfortable intensity that gives you results. So that's just my recommendation. And you press start. And what you'll feel is that when you put your finger or you put any bit of gel or oil on there, it's a bit tingly and vibrates. This heats up, so I always say keep this moving. So with that current gel, you're basically, again, moving upwards. You're contouring the face. Everything is always going to be upwards. This is purely used for mainly cheek area, mid-face and jawline, and underneath the chin on that like chin strap area. This is all about muscle toning and infusing product. So if you're wanting to get that tighter like cheek area, you're wanting to get that lift, then the bigger ultrasound is going to be the best handle for that. With that, you've then got your ultrasound small. This is all about the same technology, but it just means you can use it in areas that are a bit easier to use. So maybe above the lip, the corner of the nose, underneath the eye, above the eye on the brow bone. Again, this is all about that muscle contouring, making it sure that it's lifted. The fact that we're infusing products, so heat's really good for infusing that product into the skin, producing collagen, fibroblast, elastin, everything that most people after the age of 30 were kind of looking for because our skin's on obviously a major decline. The other handle is going to be your bio. So this is like a current. So it doesn't get hot like a normal RF. What this is doing is putting a current into the skin and then basically creating a circuit, and then obviously it comes back into the handle. This is that like collagen anti-aging handle. Not only is this good for producing collagen, again, it's really good for infusing products, but it's really good because how it sits and that you can go over the brow bone and across the jaw. It's really good for kind of starting to get that lymphatic system detox kind of going. So I can't get my words out. And again, you would basically go on bio. There's a picture of the handle, so you can't go wrong on the screen. Sorry, it will show you when you have a look. And again, I would go to intensity 8. And you would press start. The machine lights up and it's ready to go. The handle's kind of blue. And again, like I say, intensity 8 is a really good one that I would recommend. With your program modes, there's so many different modes, and I always advise just leave it on P1. P1 is consistent. If you start changing them, it will be on, off, or on, off, on, off, on, off, and it's kind of there as an option, but we find that actually P1 is a really good one because it just gives consistent treatment, electrodes, RF at the same kind of like pace throughout the treatment. So that's kind of hydrofacial, your ultrasound big, your ultrasound small, your microdermabrasion, and your bio. So that's one side, and then last on that side of the machine, you've got your high frequency. High frequency is really good for, again, producing collagen, but it kills all the bacteria in the dermis. So if somebody is having like a lot of outbreaks, then it's really good because there's a lot of treatments you can't do while something is active, like active acne, active spots. This is going to be that treatment that helps. You've got this one here, which is for your face. You've then got that one, which is for your upper lip. You have that one, which is a face option, and you have that one, which is for your nose. I always use this one. I just think it's a really easy one to use. You basically plug it into the handle, you go into high frequency and you press start. And basically you turn your high frequency up on the front of the machine, and as you can see, you can hear it. When you touch it, it gives you a bit of a shock, and that is because basically there's gases being ignited into the glass ampule, and what we're wanting to do is then basically, like I say, kill all that heat off. The best way of using this is that you put your finger on the ampule first, put that in contact with the skin, and then release your finger, and then basically you will glide around over the serum, which is probably an oil-based serum you use, or the microcurrent gel. Always put your finger on there because it just takes that shock away. So if you went straight in and did that on the client's face, they might just go, oh. So always just put your finger on there, earth it, put it to the client's face, and then remove your finger, and then it'll work. And obviously just make sure that the client's comfortable, because if it's too high it will be a little bit like an electric shock, and you'd obviously want to make sure the client's comfortable. So I would always just put it on maybe like 2 or 3, try it on the client. If they feel comfortable, you can always increase it. And then, like I say, they're your 4 ampules which go in this side of the machine. But that is really, really good for like the teenage prevention, acne. It's really good for skin rejuvenation anyway. Amazing for underneath the eyes because it really helps with dark circles, helps with excessive water retention, fine lines and wrinkles. So it's just a really good, like, oh, that's my favourite handle, I think. You've got your 3 different suctions. One is for your body, which is your bigger one. You've then got your medium and you've got your small. So let's say, for example, we're doing the face, we would use the small one. I would go on to vacuum. You've got program, the seconds, and then the release. And what I tend to do again is leave this because it seems to be a really good setting to get results. You press start, and then as you already know, you kind of get that suction that goes suck, release, suck, release. You put your hand on the little hole that is at the side, and basically you put it to the skin, and then it will suck, release, and that gives you that, you know, basically every time it releases, you move it. Release it, and then you just keep going. You'll see a lot of people that do lymphatic drainage and they've got like an oil and they're gliding it upwards. What I tend to do is literally just move up, make it all nice and relaxing, and just go along in a really nice steady pace. If you've increased the suction or you leave it in one place for too long, it can cause bruising. Now this is a risk with any kind of suction. So obviously that's where you educate the client and say that I'm happy to do obviously lymphatic drainage, but there could be a chance or a risk of it bruising. As long as you're honest with your client, then you're going to be absolutely fine. And what I tend to do is like literally you can go around the eye. It's really good for, like I say, that lymphatic drainage, but at the same time it's really good for bringing the blood circulation to the skin. So if you can imagine that we're basically cleansing the skin, we're infusing products, but then we're wanting to bring that blood to the surface of the skin so that it all basically mixes together and gets the result that your client's looking for. So like I say, you can use that in a glided manner, but I just tend to do it static, move along really gently. I would move along my jawline, I go up the tragus in front of the ear, you will then literally go underneath the eye, above the eye, and it's all about hitting those lymph nodes and making sure that we get the lymphatic system going. We've then got our PDT lighting. So this is obviously really good for most conditions. In your manual, there's going to be a whole list of what the lights do. And what you can do is basically you've got channel A and channel B, so you've got 2 handles, and you can basically choose which handle you want to use. So you can use 1 or 2. If you want 2, you press both together, and what that will do is then obviously put both lights on. And then what you can do is you can change your lights by just keep changing the colours. So you've got green, you can have green and blue, you can have blue on its own, blue and red. Whatever you want to do, it's like the colour chart that you mix. So you would choose the colour light you want, and then you would obviously go through which colour you want, which channel, handle, usually both. And again, I would go up to intensity 8 and leave it on program 1. If you change it to something like program 2, it basically flashes. Whereas if you leave it on program 1, it's a consistent light. And you would basically go round, and I go round in like a figure of 8 over the face for about 5 minutes. This is basically a really intense light, but it's good for people that are needing that extra bit of a boost after the treatment. Maybe they've had a bit of a flare up and you feel like they just need that little bit of relaxation and something to kind of calm the skin down. We've then got the vibrating plate, which is the peeler, the ultra peeler. You would press ultra peel and start, And then what you do is you switch on the handle, and I always put it on H. What this is going to do is put it on the highest setting, and this is going to be really good for kind of getting in the corner of the nose, across the cheeks, where you feel there may be a lot of blocked pores, blackheads. They've got like sebaceous glands, so it's obviously full of sebum, and so it's a case of clearing those out. You've probably seen on YouTube where they're like really getting there, and it's quite satisfying. So like I said, always put that on, and then H for high. Last but not least, we've got the sprayer. And basically what you do is you take the lid off and put toner into the barrel at the top. And at the end of every treatment, you basically go onto the spray and you press start. And this is about creating a really nice fine mist over the client's face. Because there's toner in there, not only does toner help with tone, pigmentation, and the even look of skin, because of the oxygenation, it basically infuses into the skin a lot quicker. So skin basically needs purer oxygen, and what that does is basically cell rejuvenation. So it just helps stabilize the cells, so our cells become free radical, and when we introduce oxygen into the skin, it basically stabilizes them, and then it becomes obviously a more rejuvenated cell. Derma Hydra is a facial platform that is offering a multitude of treatments to become a results-driven product, so that they do get those results. I think intermingling it with things like chemical peels, dermaplaning is going to be a really good thing as well, because it obviously advances and quickens up the results. But it is just a case of educating your client, telling them that obviously you've invested in a machine, that it is a results-driven product, that you're highly educated, that you're using the best products, and yeah, just trying to advertise. I mean, show them the show reel, obviously, of the machine we use. Recapping, intensity I would always sit at 8. So wherever there's an option where it says intensity, start at 8. Always make sure your client's comfortable. When it comes to the vacuum, make sure that you just, when it releases, just keep moving it. Don't turn the suction up, and don't literally keep it standing or try and drag it, purely for the fact it will cause bruising, because we're just bringing that blood to the surface. Everything else is very, very easy to use, and I think you just got to be creative. So I've given you an idea of what we create, but there's so many other things that you can be creating out there for clients, like Friday night facial glows, and you can come up with names for anything. And that's where you need to kind of get your confidence and passion, and kind of be like, oh my God, I'm really creating something. It is really difficult starting out in the industry, and it is really difficult trying to compete with competitors, but you don't need to, because you're on a different level to everyone else. So we're here to support you. I'm hoping that it just kind of really helps now and gives you that confidence to kind of get on the machine, get your friends and family in, try it on yourself, and just build that confidence up. Get used to the whole fact of like double cleansing with this. Well, watch this video over and over again so you get an idea of how everything works. Take what each handle does, that whole collagen production, elastin, fibroblast, anti-aging, anti-acne, rejuvenation, hydrating, extracting, all these words that people want to hear, detox. Use all these words to create like a really positive kind of just brand for the machine within your clinic, and you will do amazing. So any help, then just literally get in touch with me. Take care. Bye.